The training methods you're about to see are conducted by a professional. Please do not try these methods without first consulting a professional dog trainer.
Hey doggy friends, welcome to the grand finale of K9 Konnection's first season. We have a very special show in store for you to finish this season off with a bang. First, we meet a teeny tiny pup named Coco, who's going through some potty training. Then, we hop over to the monthly Project Pet Care and chat with Dr. Poole about the importance of rabies shots. Rounding things off, we have a play date with some golden retrievers and find out where some fancy English bulldogs get their groom on. Hang tight, we'll be back with K9 Konnection.
Half a day and welcome to another edition of K9 Konnection. Today we're going to chat with Tiffany about something all new puppy owners deal with, potty training.
I got her from my mother-in-law's friend when she was, say, a month and a half was when we received her. And it's pretty, she's so loving, like a little child, so caring. The problem is how to potty train her. We're having a hard time. But there's times where she's really good and she'll go on to the pad, the pamper pad.
One of the things to remember with little baby puppies is that they are still a baby, so don't rush. A lot of people are in for quick, we've got to get them trained and all those type of things. One of the things to remember is to give them time to be a baby. First things to recognize is, number one, your puppy's age. Let's just talk about that. At this age, for her, it's like, I need to go, and she has to go immediately.
Brett explains that just like babies, very young puppies have yet to make a connection between the urge to potty and their ability to control it. So it's important to watch for signals when the puppy is ready for potty training and not to stress too much when they make mistakes.
You're probably going to start to find it around about 3.5, maybe 4 before she starts getting it all sorted out. Become a little bit earlier, but around about that time. But she will let you know, because what will happen is she will start investigating, she'll start sniffing out a place and those type of things.
One thing Brett really wants to emphasize is that punishment for mistakes are counterproductive. And who's the genius who said that rubbing a dog's nose in their poop is supposed to teach them a lesson? That is a big no-no. How would you like it if your mom rubbed your dirty diaper in your face when you're a toddler? Not exactly a pleasing thought, is it?
One of the things I hear a lot, and that is that rubbing the dog's nose in it whenever it makes a mistake is one of the worst things that you can do. What it creates is, number one, the dog is now scared of you. If it's going to go to the bathroom, it's also scared of you. And so it creates this whole thing where it now is not an educational situation, it's a fearful situation. And I think that's one of the things to remember is don't be rubbing the nose in it or doing any of those smacking or those type of behaviours. You're just going to create more problems for yourself.
There are going to be lots of opportunities to educate your puppy about potty training, and in this situation, praise is the way to do it.
So how do I reward her if she goes to that place where I want her to be using the restroom at?
That is an excellent question. I think one of the things to recognise is what I'd be suggesting for you in this situation is praising her lavishly, not using treats or anything like that. A lot of people often want to use treats. What they actually do is confuse the whole situation. Best thing to do is just go, good puppy, and the Midas, as you can see, she wakes up immediately.
Brett also suggests associating potty time with a command. So as your puppy learns to control her puppy urges and you take her outside, she'll know exactly what you want her to do.
There's going to be plenty of opportunities for you to learn what her behavior is. So I think the thing about it is watch that behavior, and if you get the opportunity to guide her outside, do that.
With a small and teeny puppy like Coco, Brett is careful to advise that carrying them out may seem like a faster way to take them where they need to go, but they have to learn to do it on their own. So how do you do that? Brett says first, teach them to come to you rather than going to them during potty time. Using a high-pitched voice with a lot of enthusiasm is the way to do it.
The way that I would generally do it is a nice, light, happy voice, come on, puppy, and really get that voice, come on, come on, come on, and get them following you and all of those type of things.
Also, never spank or rub a dog's nose in their poop. This only creates bigger problems. Lastly, use lots of verbal praise when they go where you need them to go. Just like a child, puppies are eager to please and will respond to positive reinforcement.
For more information on Dog Training Squad, call 989-DOGS or 989-3647.
After the break, we're going to visit our friends at Forever Kinda Love to talk about Project Pet Care and when they're coming to your village for some free vet checkups. Stay tuned, you're watching K9 Konnection.
Pup quiz, everybody! Is the domestic dog a carnivore, omnivore, or herbivore? The answer when K9 Konnection returns.
Day. My name is John from Pacific Pest Control. If you have any pest problems, please give us a call at 637-8959. Service guaranteed.
Day, I'm Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio, and you're watching K9 Konnection.
To our pup quiz. So, is the domestic dog a carnivore, omnivore, or herbivore? They are omnivores. Dogs can healthily eat a range of foods, including grains and vegetables, as part of their daily nutritional requirements, without the need to solely rely on meat.
This pub quiz was brought to you by Pacific Pest Control.
Have you ever wondered if you have all the info you need about taking care of your furry pals? Look no further than Project Pet Care. Project Pet Care is a village-to-village program in which a participating veterinarian and volunteers provide a free vet check along with a range of other services.
Basically what they do is travel from village to village and provide services for pet owners. It includes a basic wellness check, a nail trim, ear cleaning, and we just kind of check their skin overall for any visible signs of skin problems, and then our participating veterinarian who volunteers their time to join us basically will do the free rabies if it is determined that the pet is healthy enough.
All of these services are provided for free thanks in large part to community donations as well as fundraisers by Forever Kinda Love. If you're wondering who's allowed to come to these free clinics, the answer is everyone. All people and their dogs, cats, and even bunnies are welcome at Project Pet Care.
Generally speaking, we get pet owners of all types. We do get those who are breeding their pets. We do have owners that may not be able to afford the rabies vaccinations and the veterinary visit that goes along with that. And we want to make sure that these services are available to everyone on the island.
We talked to some of the attendees to get their thoughts on Project Pet Care.
I want to get the care for my dogs, my two dogs. They're up to date with their rabies shots from Dr. Harper, but I just want them to get some grooming. Right now my dog is getting bath. I like the way they serve the community. from each village. And I think that's a plus, especially in the island of Guam, to have that program for the entire village and the community itself.
People also came to Project Pet Care to get more information on responsible pet ownership.
It was a complete program, not only for education, but also to re-educate myself. As far as we know, we really don't know that much, so it's best to re-educate yourself. And it's for my one dog here. I only got one dog.
It's all about education. As long as we continue to breed the animals on this island, as long as animals are not spay and neuter and they're running around making litters of puppies, we're going to have an overpopulation crisis on this island. And our goal is to ultimately educate every single person, young, old, big, small, that walks through these doors.
Forever Kinda Love aims to have a Project Pet Care event every month in different villages across the island, and it takes a huge commitment from the community to ensure the program is a success.
So getting community leaders and representatives to be willing to allow these animals the facilities indoors and the use of the community centers is very important to the success of our program and to helping change the life overall for the animals here in Guam.
If you'd like to volunteer, donate, or simply get more information about Project Pet Care, visit Forever Kinda Love's Facebook page or its website at foreverkindalove.com.
Here's another pup quiz for you doggy fans. Who has better hearing, a human or a dog? Find out after the break.
When I go shopping for dog food, there's 5 things that I like to stay away from. Byproducts, wheat, gluten, corn and colouring. A way to remember that is Brett wants good canine care. That's my tip for today.
Hi, my name is Dr. Velma Harper from Harper Veterinary Hospital, and you are watching K9 Konnection.
Here comes Trouble, a 110-pound shepherd mix. Trouble was rescued from a dumpster by his adoptive human parents. After seeing his huge feet, they thought he would bring nothing but trouble. On the contrary, he's an uber-sweet giant baby who's a very good brother to his 2 canine sisters. Congratulations, Trouble! You've just won your parents a free home pest control treatment courtesy of Pacific Pest Control. Yay for big and gentle giants!
K9 Konnection, brought to you by Pacific Pest Control, Crystal Rose Productions, Booney B&B, and Puppy Love Guam. Island gear for the modern pet.
Do you know the answer to our pup quiz? It is the dog. Dogs can hear both above and below humans on the frequency spectrum, can pinpoint sound direction faster, and can hear sounds that are 4 times as far away as what humans can hear.
This pup quiz is brought to you by Puppy Love Guam.
If you've ever done research on what dog makes the best family dog, no doubt you've probably encountered golden retrievers among that list, and for good reason.
They love to play, and play some more. Eager, loving, intelligent, and yep, playful. These dogs have boundless energy and very few behavior problems.
Golden Retriever is probably the one of the most popular breeds. You know, they're playful, they're happy-go-lucky. I mean, they're the best pet to have because you come home and they're happy and they don't get stressed out. They're just ha-ha, everything's great all the time.
According to the American Kennel Club, the Golden Retriever originated in the Scottish Highlands in the late 1800s and was used predominantly for hunting. The breed was developed to create a superb retriever suited to the Scottish climate, terrain and available game. Later integrations of Irish Setter, Bloodhound and the Tweed Water Spaniel produced the retriever we know today.
This is our favorite breed of dog. We've had 3 golden retrievers, and the first 2 were such excellent puppies. They were such great dogs, and so we really enjoy the breed, and we like the fact that they're easily trainable, and they have such nice personalities, and they're beautiful.
Loaded with a vibrant, outgoing personality, these dogs will make friends with anybody, pretty much eliminating any use as a guard dog. This is partly why they are so popular with families. But keep in mind, golden retrievers may start off as a tiny ball of fur, but soon they become 80-pound balls of energy and may accidentally knock down a small child. The best way to manage this hyperactivity is to keep them active. Golden retrievers love to play outdoors, swim, fetch balls and sticks, not to mention roll around in the mud. They're also generally open to other furry members of the family, including cats.
He has 2 cats. He's very spoiled, and so he likes to wrestle with his cats. And he's really, you know, he's kind of like the private eye dog. Like he skulks around the yard and he's always investigating something, and that's kind of his thing. You know, he's in charge, he thinks, and so when the cats are out, he'll sort of maintain. Kind of like, you know, sort of a perimeter, if you will, and the cats can only stay in here, you know, and it's really fun to watch them play.
One of the most noticeable traits about Goldens is their beautiful fur. And when they shed, that fur goes everywhere.
Medically, they have a relatively higher incidence of ear infections, skin problems, more so than other breeds. And again, whenever you get a purebred, what I think people fail to understand about purebreds is they are bred for a certain look. They're bred to maintain whatever stature or hair coat is desirable at the time in the breed. And in doing so, when you genetically breed for a certain look, you are going to have genetic problems, whether it's skin problems, ear infection problems, what have you. And you have to anticipate that. So when you invest in a purebred dog, again, you have to invest for the long term.
Like any dog, there will be differences and variations within the breed. But in general, the Golden Retriever, with its friendly temperament and striking golden colour, is both beautiful to look at and a joy to own. If you want to add a Golden Retriever to your family, be sure you do your research. Be prepared mentally, physically, and financially for a dog of this size and temperament.
He's really happy all the time. It's like every time you open the door when you come home, it's just happy, happy dog, and it's so wonderful to, you know, have that big burst of energy, you know, every day. And in the morning, he jumps on the bed, licks your face, wakes you up. He's just the happiest dog. It's great.
Are you ready for our last pup quiz? What is the name of the phobia for someone who has a fear of dogs? Is it A, cynophobia, B, dogophobia, C, barkophobia, or D, zoophobia? Find out when we return to K9 Konnection.
Day, my name is John from Pacific Pest Control. If you have any pest problems, please give us a call at 637-8959. Service guaranteed.
This may be the last episode of our first season, but the fun has just begun. Join the K9 Konnection crew as we host these awesome free workshops catered to our furry friends. Our monthly mutt mixers takes place every first Saturday of the month, 2 p.m. at Booney B&B in Chalampago. Every month, we'll have a variety of different activities, from training tips, dog washes, potty cure parties, teeth cleaning, and much more. For a complete schedule of our mutt mixers, log on to our website and get free giveaways while supplies last. Learn something, get free stuff, and have fun. For more information, call 989-3647.
K9 Konnection, brought to you by Pacific Pest Control, Crystal Rose Productions, Booney B&B, and Puppy Love Guam, Island Gear for the modern pet.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tom Poole. I'm the Territorial Veterinarian for Guam, and you're watching K9 Konnection.
Every time you buy local, you support Guam's economy by keeping the money on island, creating more jobs, and giving to local charities. Half a day, I'm India. the furry host of K9 Konnection. I support local businesses by getting my cool gear at Puppy Love Guam. Puppy Love Guam is a regular donor to Guam animals in need. Not only is that great for my canine and feline pals at the shelter, but also good for the community. So go Guam, think and support, and buy local.
And we're back. What is the name of the phobia for someone who fears dogs? The answer is A, cynophobia.
This pub quiz was brought to you by Sunset Grill.
Have you ever seen the movie about a rabies-stricken dog named Cujo? It's scary and can definitely happen in real life if we're not careful. Here to tell us more is territorial vet Dr. Tom Poole.
Rabies used to be called the scourge. It's been a horrible disease for probably all of human history. It's a viral disease. Basically, all mammals are susceptible to rabies, only mammals. Some non-mammals have been infected experimentally, but never naturally. It is an absolutely deadly disease. If you contract rabies and you're not treated early, you are going to die. The virus penetrates and gets in the body any way it gets there and makes its way to a peripheral nerve and goes in and starts setting up housekeeping inside that peripheral nerve and then climbs up the peripheral nerves into the central nervous system and makes its way up to the brain.
Dr. Poole says people and animals are most susceptible to get rabies from the bite of a rabid animal, and unless treatment is immediate, death is likely to follow. Luckily, Guam is a rabies-free territory. However, it's still important to keep our pets vaccinated because in the unfortunate event that a rabid animal makes its way to Guam, the result could be devastating. With a large population of feral animals on island, the disease has the potential to spread like wildfire. But all of this can be prevented with vaccination.
Once infected, an animal only has a pretty short time before he's going to be dead. I don't mean infected, but by the time he becomes symptomatic, by the time he's able to transmit the virus, he's going to be dead soon. And so he's got to find a susceptible host pretty quick. And otherwise that infection dies out, right there. So, and that's why if you have a fairly high percentage of the population that is immune through vaccination, then it's very unlikely that this animal is going to be able to, that the infection will be able to establish itself and maintain itself in the population because it's going to keep hitting dead ends by exposing only, immune animals.
Some people may say that because Guam is rabies-free, we don't need to vaccinate. But Dr. Poole says that not only is that breaking the law, it's also irresponsible. Just how important is vaccination, you ask?
I think it's very important, and whether I thought so or not, it's the law. And the law preceded me. It was on the books before I came here, but I think it's a very good law. I think it makes very good sense. Our situation is different from Hawaii, for example. Hawaii is pretty well isolated. It has thousands and thousands of miles of ocean from their neighbors, and we do not. We have neighbors coming from areas where rabies, like the Philippines, for example, is hyperinzootic. That is, there is just a tremendous amount of rabies there. I was stationed there for 2 years, and I knew personally 2 veterinarians who died of rabies while I was there. They were Filipino veterinarians, they died of rabies, and 2 more that were in that same area that I didn't know well, and they also died. So 4 veterinarians died there in a 2-year period from rabies. And these are veterinarians who, should be knowledgeable about how to protect themselves, but it's just very difficult. So yeah, it's extremely important to vaccinate because we have boats coming in here all the time to refuel and get provisions and that sort of thing. I think rabies is a pretty simple issue. It's relatively inexpensive. It's really, really important. To me, it's a no-brainer. And so I hope everyone will get their animals vaccinated to protect their animals and to protect their families, protect the island, protect all of us.
Sometimes you just need a spa day. And hey, I do too. And recently, we checked out a place where doggies can do just that.
Cloud K9 Grooming Board, we're a full-service grooming and boarding facility. We also own and operate Rainbow Bridge, which is a pet cremation service. It's kind of the bummer end of the business, but also something necessary. So we're kind of a full-service pet facility. The only thing that we don't have is a doctor's office, but we don't want to be in the vet business. We're just happy to take care of the puppy dogs here for people while they travel, and Basically, I do all the kennel work, and my wife Vivian and her staff, they take care of all of the grooming and so forth. So it's a family-run business.
Though they love all sorts of doggies, there's a particular breed that tugged on the heartstrings of this dog lover, the English Bulldog.
I fell in love with the breed, it was over 5 years ago that I got Boomer, and he actually came to us. We brokered him as a puppy, and he went out and he came back to us, hence the word Boomer, boomerang. So he came back to us and ended up looking at him, and the rest is history.
Because of his love for the breed, he joined a bunch of other enthusiasts who gather for occasional Bulldog get-togethers. And this year, Cloud K9 is the site for the annual English Bulldog Gathering.
We're happy to sponsor the 2012 Guam Bulldog, English Bulldog get-together. So once a year, all of the Bulldog owners of Guam gather, and this year we're just doing it here at our facility. This is a gathering of a bunch of really good people just coming together to enjoy the breed. We're not competing or anything like that. We just a bunch of fun-loving people wanting to get together. We have a day for the dogs, a social gathering for the Bulldogs, if you will.
Though its founders say it's not an official club, they wanted to get together with other people who love the breed and share tips specific to English Bulldogs.
We met at the Harmon Animal Clinic, Dr. Malakudi. We sat one day, and we both had our Bulldogs in the shop, and we started talking and saying, hey, he knows a few people, I knew a few people, so we kind of got a list together with names and email addresses, and that's what started it all.
Unlike a lot of breed-specific clubs, this English Bulldog Club simply wants to get other hobbyists together just to chill and have play dates, and not necessarily to have contests or enter the show ring.
Everybody's here mainly because they love their dogs and they wanted to, get together with everybody else.
Kind of meet and learn about each other and learn different ideas about what they're eating or the different vets that they go to. A lot of times the Bulldogs have kind of respiratory problems or some health problems, and so that's just some ideas as to how to go around it.
John Limpiaco recently joined the English Bulldog Circle with the arrival of his puppy, Star. And when we say English Bulldog, we mean it, because she comes all the way from London.
I was just doing some research. I did look around at a few of the dogs here, and some of the people who have dogs here told me that the population was small, and that it would be good to bring a dog from the outside just so you could bring a new bloodline into the community.
A few months after Star arrived, John added a second English Bulldog to his pack, Charlie.
I bought Charlie from a kennel called South Pacific Bulldogs in Hawaii, and I flew out there and met the guy, and learned a little bit about the pedigree of on the mother's side and then on the father's side. So it had a good line.
Even with lots of research, there are still a few surprises that come with owning a breed you've never had before.
They require a lot of attention. I prefer the females over the male. I think the females are closer to the males in the family, and the males are closer to the females in the family. Females to me are also a lot easier to handle, so I suggest anybody who wants a Bulldog, get a female or buy a male and neuter him.
If you're looking to add an English Bulldog to your family, or simply want to learn more about the breed, join the club.
Whoever owns a Bulldog pretty much is the one is always invited to come, and even if you don't own a Bulldog, you're invited to come anyway just to see the dogs, because it's timing. Sometimes you're ready to buy a Bulldog, but then they're not always available, especially when there aren't very many going around.
And if anybody wants to come see Bulldogs, they're more than welcome to come. Give us a call.
That wraps up our first season of K9 Konnection. We'd like to shout out a great big thank you and Tazuz Maasi to our sponsors, featured guests, and of course you, our loyal viewers. We'll be working hard to make sure our show is even better next season, but in the meantime, be sure to check out our website for past episodes and updates on everything else we have planned. Until next spring, this is India signing off. Adios!